regardless of what you're trying to do. And the whole goal is to what? Okay, let me ask you guys a question now. What's the goal? Anti-age and get lean. Hello. With those, if you like those two choices, put up a 1. Anti-age, or slow the process as much as possible and get your body fat lean. Are those? I mean, you know, unfortunately I can't change my looks. I can't change my height, but I can change that. I can change the leanness and the aging. If I could do some things that would promote that were reasonable, I would give that a shot. I would give that a shot. So on tonight's scope, I try to prepare. That's another thing. I get some emails about how do I get followers, and you know, prepare for your scopes. If you're going to talk about something, really briefly, before I scope tonight, I asked my daughter. She's 5 years old. I said, "Is it okay for Daddy scopes?" And you know what she said? She was, "You're helping people, go do it." So you see, I don't know why I was compelled to do that, but I thought it was important. Okay, okay. So in the academy, a lot of what we do is on insulin expression and how to help your body regulate that, because the fat process has to get involved in that. It has to get involved in that process, and you have to get it employed to do the things we want it to do. So in looking up tonight's, hey, thanks for mentioning me. Oh yeah, thank you for sending your followers. I made trending or something like that. I mean, that's a real privilege. I just want to give you guys good information of things that move you to act, or get one of your loved ones to act. And also to communicate better with your primary. You know, it's always good to have that good discussion. Okay, so this is from Science Magazine. I just found this magazine. It looks pretty nerdy, but it's right up my alley. So what they've got in here is an article, and the endocrine regulation of aging by insulin-like signals. So what they're saying, there's a direct correlation between insulin-like signals and aging. And I've got to read it. I got to read it, the article, but that's what I mean. When you can begin to, hey, thank all you guys for sharing and inviting. That's very, very nice of you. Hey, thanks for tweeting me out there. Smile a lot and don't be sad and play your favorite sport from Latin America. That's funny. Thank you for that, Joanne. I crashed my bike and I got bedridden. Oh, I'm so sorry. I crashed my bike too. I know how that is. A bicycle, that is, and that was bad enough. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. So the 3 keys to anti-aging, I'm going to give them to you right now. Really do look into regulating your insulin expression. Insulin expression is the medical term that we give of foods or elements or chemicals that make our bodies express insulin. Okay, so that's appearing to play a role in a lot of things now, even in aging, and that kind of makes sense. If it's good for a chronic condition to keep your sugar regulated, I mean, it's got to be good for a lot of other things, right? Your overall health. So that makes sense. So I was pretty excited about that. So that's the whole principle. So that's number 1 is watch your insulin expression. You need to really understand what a low load glycemic carb is, high load indexes. You want really good sources, go to harvardmedicalschool.com and go to search and just type in glycemic load. And they did an excellent job at putting the glycemic load and the glycemic index, like you can compare them. See, for a while, how many of you have heard the term glycemic index? You know, what's a glycemic index? Have you heard that term? Put up a 1 if you've heard that term before. I want to make sure this is important stuff. I don't care whether you're diabetic or not. This is really important. Okay, so now they're coming out with, and it's been out for a while, a glycemic load, and that's a little bit different. The expression of the hormones can be different, so it's real important. So you really want to watch the foods that cause that type of expression, because they're saying now that that's not only linked to obesity and diabetes, but it's also actually involved in our aging mechanism. So see, pretty cool stuff. So number 1 is low glycemic, especially at nighttime. Number 2, hey, make sure thank you for inviting your followers. Thank you, Jenny. And make sure you're eating enough protein to support your lean body mass. For those of you that follow me regularly, I know I seem like I'm like a broken record, but I'm telling you, if you do it for 2 or 3 days consistently, you'll physically see a difference. I can't explain it. You just have to ask my academy members. It seems that the elements in the academy seem so simple, but when you apply them consistently, yeah, and they're easy enough to apply. So the third one is, this, I think this young lady just said it, is consistency. Space-time repetition and consistency. I remember my old osteology teacher taught me that. Space-time repetition. Just keep going over it again. That's even more important if your body's being altered in some way to eat a relatively low glycemic load lifestyle. I lost 60 pounds. My next question is, how much of that is from body fat? Oh, thank you so much. Osteology teacher. He taught me bone. Yeah, he taught bones. What if you go off the wagon, dust yourself off, and get back on? That's as easy it is. So we got our first inappropriate comment, and you don't shy away from them. You block Superboy, and that's okay. He can be super, just not going to be super on my scope. That's no problem. What's the second thing? Second thing is supporting your lean body mass. So number one is glycemic load. Really look into that. Harvard Medical School is the best, one of the better ones that I've seen. It's really easily laid out. And then number two is support your lean body mass. And number three is just be consistent. There's no magic. You know, I get emails, how do I lose 20 pounds now, or even on the scope. You know, if you want to drop 20 pounds of water, sweat for a few days if you're large enough, and it will happen. But that's not the way that I would do it. Other than you just block and move on. That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. What's the best way to lose baby fat? Support your lean body mass. Okay, so I like to ask quizzes on my scopes to make sure you guys are participating. Because like I said, I have the smartest periscopers on this channel. Okay. So I talked about how fat influences hormones and how that's now affecting us from an aging perspective. So if it affects aging, it affects everything. So what would you want to be doing? And you can just put up what would you need to be eating your last meal with? And this is important for body fat releases and hormones and things. 1, if it's a protein. 2, if it's carbohydrate. 3, if it didn't matter. 1 protein, 2 carbohydrate. 3, it didn't matter. Okay, good. Carnitine, that's funny. Fat, okay. Okay, only 1 carb. Okay, so you people that said the protein, you're pretty much right. Protein, for the most part, doesn't cause as high an insulin expression as a carbohydrate, especially a simple one. So the research says. So what we don't want to do is have that at nighttime. These are the keys that are in the academy, but you have to know the foods that combine with them to make it work. And then it's a thoughtless process. It just happens. Try to eat protein every meal because I'm type 2. Yeah, you should. And if you change something, for you diabetics out there, if you change something in your meal plan, write it down and then take an extra test. You'll appreciate that. Your primary will appreciate that. And then you can see, wow, I ate quinoa and went up 10 points. I mean, that it shouldn't happen, but who knows? You know, when I ate this, it went down 10 points. That way you can have a gauge. Are protein shakes bad? Depends what the element is inside of them. There's some pretty crappy ones on the market, that's for sure. Please tell people V8 is not really a healthy drink. Yeah, unfortunately, for you raw foodists out there, we know that V8 is pasteurized. So when you take the lid off, it's just pretty much cooked vegetables. So if you want to know the difference, go to a juice place. And there's a lot of hippies follow me on the scope too, you know, right on hippies. Some of that juice place, if you have one of those and you try to go back to V8, it's almost like your body's like, oh, what are you doing? How do you build muscle at 48? I beg your pardon, I'm 52, and I'm not done yet. Just go to harvardmedicalschool.com, and it should be a red and white site. And then just go to search and type in glycemic load, and it should take you right to their, their page where they have that. But great questions, guys. So yeah, glycemic levels and insulin expression appear to play a huge role in our obesity. but also are now being studied for aging. Interesting, right? Yeah, this is the Proarginine, the human growth hormone drink, and some chlorophyll. For some reason, I crave both of those at nighttime. What's the discussion? Aging, and now I'm answering just general questions as best that I can. And again, I'm not here to diagnose anyone or take you away from your primary. If anything, I'm here to foster a better communication relationship. Believe in supplementing thyroid with kelp or natural foods. If you can, what's really nice about blood work is try something if you have the time. If it's not an emergency, try something. No matter what you think it is, if you've done some reasonable research, you should see it in the lab work in 4 to 6 weeks. That will definitely make your doctor a believer. What do you have the recipe on for? The recipe, no, it's just a product that I take. It's in my academy. I do a little video on the ones that I like. There are like 5 of them. What do you do if you get hungry late at night? Have some protein and a vegetable. That would be my choice. How do you get rid of H. pylori bacteria? How do you get rid of it? Just depends. I mean, is it in your lungs? It just depends where it is. What is the best way to get rid of pregnancy weight? Support your lean body mass. It's the safest way, and you'll still produce really good milk. So you can do both. You can get lean and still produce a good, breast milk supply, which is important, at least the first year. 6'4", weight 260. How much should I lose? How much fat do you have? All that's not muscle, that 260. How much is muscle? Then once you determine what the muscle is, then you can have some numbers to work with objectively. That's going to give you the best, to succeed. That's going to just make sense, right? How would I do that? My son is 1 already. Okay, just support your lean body mass. You have to eat enough protein to support the muscle that you have. Soda is poison. I mean, it's not one of the better drinks I could think of, that's for sure. Liquid vitamin Bs, when it is a good time to take it, they can tend to keep you awake, so I would take it in the morning. I have a little white on my tongue. It can be yeast or fungus, but it's hard to tell. In Ayurveda, they teach about cleansing the skin and tongue scraping. You might want to try that. Chlorophyll is a good deodorizer, and it's very cooling and soothing to me. I tend to be too energetic. I switched to liquid stevia instead of regular sugar in my sweet drink. Excellent. And the best brand out there right now is Sweet Leaf, in my opinion. And they don't pay me or anything. I usually smoke a couple of bowls before working out. Okay, if that's what you choose to do, certainly your choice. Whey protein shake like muscle milk. Yeah, muscle milk is pretty low quality. If you look at the ingredients, it's I think asulfame K, and then the main protein is sodium caseinate. Don't believe me. Look this stuff up. Bok choy juice. I don't know how that would taste. Yeah. It just makes sense to me if you have a high negative bacteria content in your body or somewhere. Why don't you try putting in some good bacteria and just kind of see if it works itself out? I mean, if you have the time, right? Support lean body mass. New to this, how do I start? Go to leanbodyacademy.com. It's 7 days free. You get to download about 14 items in the members area. Plant-based protein. Yeah, plant-based protein is okay. Just understand that the biological value is very low. Well, not very low. It's probably in the 60s. How do you retain hair? So first place to start is supporting your lean body mass. I was told to cut calories 500 a day. Oh, my goodness. Calorie counting is the research doesn't support that from a number of different perspectives. I'm sorry. Again, I didn't say I didn't support it. I said the research didn't support it. No fridge tonight. I am late in touch. Here, okay, thank you. So by staying lean, well, thank you guys for sharing. Thank you for your hearts. If you guys want to follow me, you can, I think, slide the screen up and follow. I'm not sure that left or right. I'm not sure. But supporting your lean body mass is the place to start. What essentially I'm saying is you're supporting one of the most active tissues in your body with the things that they need the most, called amino acids. That's just what muscles need. There's nothing that can substitute that. If you don't have enough, they will continue to break down. So that's a good place to start, and you need to figure out what that is for your particular body. Should a person eat over their RMR? What do you mean by RMR? Explain benefits of chlorophyll. It's a good deodorizer. It helps the blood. It's like very cooling. For me, because I'm very energetic, so it's Ayurvedic would say a dark green is a cooling color, whereas like a red tomato is a fiery color, and they sometimes lean a lot toward, based on your constitution, how those foods can affect you. It's a fascinating science. I'm by no means certified in it. Hey, thanks for mentioning me out there. Appreciate that. What's the best way to lose excess body fat? You guys tell her. What's the best way to lose? Support your lean body mass. Do you know anything about veganism? A little bit, but the book I would get would be Jethro Kloss, Back to Eden. I mean, sure, there's better ones out there, but that book I'm very familiar with, and it's been out for a couple of decades. I just scored a Schwinn R-Line bike at yard sale. Excellent. And bone broth, spare. It depends if it has protein in it. That's what you need to check. Do you rely? Okay, repeat that. All I got was, do you rely? Lean body mass, that's correct. Digestive enzymes, they're super important. Your body temperature runs hot. Oh, Lucretia. Well, I think you're due for a blood test anyway. When's your next appointment to your primary? I haven't. Thank you. Yeah, that's the academy. You do have to join. You do have to give your credit card and join, but you're not going to be charged. You can leave in 7 days. But go to the bonus material. That's just the way the platform is set up. Go to the bonus area. You can download all that material. How do I get my butt firmer? Support your lean body mass. So just one simple step at a time. What does that mean? That means you need the correct amount of protein for the particular muscle mass that you're carrying. Everything else is, how many fitness people do I have on the scope? People that either work out like, fiends, like I used to be 3-4 times a week, or they actually train people and make a living off of that. How many do I have on the scope side? Just put up a 1. What do I know about the body's pH balance? I know some. I do low impact. Excellent, doctor. Do you believe rebounding helps lymphatic system? Oh, the rebounder with the tarp. Oh, that's phenomenal. It creates, okay. You guys are so smart. What's the process called that she talked about with the rebounder? That when that rebounder, what is it doing in the body? Come on, some of you medicos. I know I'm not the only one that knows this. What does that process do when you get on that rebounder and you go up and down? Why is that so powerful? The rebounder, that's correct. I told you I'm a nerd with this stuff. There's got to be someone out there. What's that? It's one long word, 4-syllable word. So it's called imbibition. That's right. It moves lymphatic fluid. So running on soft sand, those rebounders, they create a process called imbibition, and it moves fluid. That's why for people that are really heavy, that's what I recommend they do. Support your lean body mass, get in the academy, and get your rebounder. And even if you just sit on it with your backside, and you'll move fluid. No question, it's excellent. I'm a real estate broker. Let me know if you need help. Okay, thank you. Is there a diet that can impede cancer growth? Well, think of it as helping. The book I think is a good book on that subject is by Dr. Max Gerson. He's written several. The name sounds familiar. If you tell me something she wrote, I may know. I usually know by the research what they've written, or what's been published. The rebounder it's like, think of it as a miniature trampoline. Hey, New York, what do you think about vibration machines? Let me try to explain it this way. They're causing, down to the cellular level, a vibration, right? So they're increasing the energetic dynamics of the cell, but they're doing it from outside the body. Is that a good thing? I don't know. And if I stand here and just shiver, I'm creating that, but I'm creating it myself. It's not an external. So I'm not sure if that's, good or bad. Small trampoline wouldn't be bad on your joints if you're larger. Yeah, and your feet don't even have to leave. All you want is an oscillation. You're not talking about bouncing up and down, like rebounding like a trampoline. We're talking about just oscillating. Awesome lymphatic drainage. Sorry, I just got here. Well, you promote what works. I mean, you promote what works. Well, it's going to move fluid, but if you're not supporting your lean body mass, it's kind of like it's a tool. That's not what it's designed to do. It's designed to move fluid. Supporting your lean body mass is number one. There's a few other things that you have to do. Then you'll see the weight begin to come off. And we'd see with 7.5, yeah, you want to get it below 6. Don, are you in the academy? I'm telling you, you'll see a difference within usually 72 hours if you follow and they're reasonable. They're really, you guys hear me on these scopes. My program is super reasonable. Where does the fluid go? If it's in your lymphatics, think of your lymphatics as kind of like the sewer system. A1C is a 3-month blood sugar average. And they should correlate that with a C-reactive protein or, have the people be checking their blood and kind of correlate those numbers. You want data. I'm complimenting on my calves. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, Donna. I don't think he recommends a treadmill workout. If your lean body mass is not supported, I can almost guarantee you that you'll be disappointed by your effort versus the value that you've gained. And I'm not putting that as a kibosh. I'm just saying how many of you on my scope tonight have exercised for, let's say, 3 weeks or longer, relatively consistently, 2 to 3 times a week? Put up a 1 if that's you. I'm just curious. Okay, we got 1. Brent, okay. Okay. Now here's the next question. 0, 0. Here's the next question. With the amount of time and effort that you've put in, make sure they're relative. 1 if you're happy, 2 if you're not happy with your progress. 2 if you're not happy, 1 if you're happy. Yeah. Telling you, exercise should not be the go-to. And I've been at this a long time, guys. It's kind of like, do you open your store before you have your cash register and your sink running and your toilets working? I know it sounds crude, but that's what you're doing when you prepare your body for it. Especially as you age. I'm 52 years old. Enough new people on the scope that I need to talk about my story a little bit, or are you guys all good with that? I mean, I could take it or leave it. I don't know how many new people are on my scope, so I'm new. What's the best exercise to do to help lose weight? Support your lean body mass. About detox programs, I have one question: is what are they trying to detox, and there's certain things you can do by cleaning up food. So I think I did a scope a few weeks ago. You're not going to clean up a 6 month or 2 years worth of trashy diet in a weekend detox. It's just the body unfortunately doesn't work that way. My story. Boy, I've got so many. Well, I nearly lost my life at 19. I was scheduled for neck and back surgery. But the real story I had was, oh boy, so many stories. Well, but in my program, there's actually a liver detox, but I think it's several weeks out. You need to figure out what your lean body mass is. You can't add or take away anything until you know what you have. You fell 40 feet, I'm sorry. Suggest for a housebound woman with crappy joints to get started. Support your lean body mass. Okay, all right. I'm going to try to answer this. I'm sorry if I'm being vague. How many of you with a 1 know what lean body mass is? Put up a 1 if you know definitively what that means. If I ask you, you know it in a sentence. Yeah, it's called the Lean Body Academy. Okay, all you ones know exactly what your lean body mass is. Okay, so a lot of people on the scope know what their lean body mass is. That's great. So if we would took all the fat away from our bodies, relatively speaking, what's left? And that would be considered your lean body mass. Okay? Now in my academy, I teach you how to calculate a reasonable amount of protein to support that lean body mass. Do you see? So that way you're not stuck in catabolism. So I can get pretty detailed, but this is essentially as you're trying to build muscle. When you go train and you're already in a negative state anabolically, the muscles will even break down further. So that's where you'll see the body fat rise and the lean muscle mass fall. The person may lose weight, but you want that percentage of the muscle to fat ratio to improve. And you have to be a little bit more cerebral than just, I'm going to go train and eat egg whites and toast or something, something ridiculous that will last 1 or 2 days, but it won't, it's got to go the long haul. Already, whatever that you like, whatever that you can do consistently, that's what exercise you want to add. And if you folks think you're going to go out, how many of you went out and joined a really nice gym only to find out later that you went twice that month? And then if they do a search on your dates, you went like 2 days apart, you were fired up, and then you didn't go anymore, right? You get this stuff down at home. When you do go back to the gym and you learn the stuff in the academy, it's free. It'll get you started. You'll go back, and when you do go back, you'll see some results. You'll see a line down your stomach, or you'll see your body fat drop 3-4%. That's when you know what you're doing is working. It's free. 7 days. You don't want to stay in, you're out. If you stay in, it's $37. Like it's $1.20 something cents a day. First week is free. That's right. Thank you, Donut. I love that name. Yeah, first 7 days. That's right. That's just the way it's a membership. That's just the way it's structured. And I have that file, the bonus materials. You can download the whole thing. And I don't know how much longer I'm going to do the 7 days free for. Not which exercise, but how much protein to add. You have to figure out what your lean body mass is. I would add maybe a half a gram to a gram. I just joined your academy, and it's all in the videos and audios, and you'll see PDFs on the right-hand side. And once you navigate it, watch I made tutorial videos. One that's like 4 minutes long. It'll walk you through the whole members area. It's a really cool, once you get it, it's really easy. You don't cancel. That's right. But it's not a WordPress site. It's designed just for membership. So I was looking at it, and then a Lean Body Academy member, Jeff, who's I guess a real genius in this field, said, "Oh, look into this," and I did, and it's phenomenal. Like if you want to have an extra piece of chicken, yeah, something like that. Just make sure you know your numbers. Do you use Aronite? I have no idea what that is. I have ridiculously small calves. Might be genetic. What exactly does your program include? Oh boy, monthly coaching, weekly coaching calls with me. All the recordings are in the members area. Meal plans. Everything. What's coming now is an exercise program to save your joints. To not do all the things that I did in college and in the gym that now I'm paying for. The extra chicken. That's right. That's right. That's right. It's difficult once you determine your lean body mass. My typical intake is about 110 grams a day. I'm hard pressed to go over that. Should I follow the program? Is it possible to lose 3 months? Depends. Let's focus on fat. If you lose 10 pounds of fat and you're, let's say, 200 pounds, it'll be a visual difference. If you lose just 10 pounds of weight, maybe you'll see it, maybe you won't. Yeah, but what's nice is you'll know the exact numbers, what to do. I do eat animal products. Yes, I do. I'm a meat eater. And I'm almost embarrassed to say that because I have some friends that are moral vegetarians and I respect them so much. I don't believe intermittent fasting is effective, and I give a scope on that, and I kind of broke down what's expected, and the average person just can't do it properly. And I need to give qualifications, but I would certainly argue that point. Process is very bad. It's too taxing. How many of you want to know anything about intermittent fasting? I'll answer it because it's a fascinating topic, and I feel I'm pretty well versed on it now that I can I can discuss it reasonably. If you have questions about something in the academy, you can email me, absolutely. Members, there's some academy members on here. I try to answer within a few minutes, but we do have quite a few members now, but I definitely get back within a day. Like with the one audio wasn't working and we went and fixed it. So we have a wonderful group, real supportive. So that we all had respect, etc. Oh, you're so welcome. Yeah, and you can actually email me right in the group, where it says, contact the administrator. That's me. It doesn't go to some country. It goes to me. I get that email. And so far, I think there's been 2 issues, one with audio, and we fixed that in like a half hour or something. Meaning for the animals and the process of food. I'm not following you. It's the Lean Body Academy. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. And right now you get just 7 days free. But go ahead and download the bonus material, please. Even if you don't stay, go download that. It'll help you. At least you have something to look back on and realize that what I was saying was right on. And again, it's not me; it's the research that I kind of enjoy looking at. Hey, Doc, excited to join. Oh, you're so welcome. I'm looking forward to see you in there. No, do you guys want to know what the intermittent fasting, the lowdown on it? Put up a 1. You hear a lot of talk about it. It's on the media. I think Huffington Post had it a few times. I'm going to give you the lowdown why there's a problem with it for the average person. Okay. All right. I get serious because I want to be absolutely clear. Intermittent fasting, the 6 research papers that I read, there's 2 premises that are done in easier ways. Number 1 is they want to have you going to bed with a low glycemic expression. Or excuse me, a low insulin expression. I totally get that. There's more cerebral ways to do it than not eating for 12 hours, in my opinion. Second thing is your eating time is between noon and 8 p.m. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm either, 8 o'clock I'm giving my daughter to school, 8:10 I have patients, I get lunch from 12 to 3, then I'm back from 3 to 8. So I really don't have enough to eat in that time to sustain me for the next 12 hours. So it breaks down in a couple of ways. But if the goal is to get a lower insulin expression, you can do that without going to the extreme of not eating for 12 hours. Does that kind of make sense? Put a 1 if that makes sense to you guys. I'm lucky if I can go 4 hours without eating. What are the best tips for losing weight? Talk to your parents. Go to Lean, with their permission, go to the Lean Body Academy. Have them join for you. Download the materials. Cancel your membership. And then read the materials and see if you want to move forward. That's what I'd recommend. Yeah, just like I said, there's too many qualifications. It's hard. You have to prepare for that type of fasting, and there's no way. With my schedule, there's no way. First General Milk Club. So I'm about. Hey, thanks for Joanne. Thanks for commenting and tweeting me out. This is a great T-shirt. I wore my orange sweater one day, and people were saying I was in a jail or something. So I haven't worn my orange sweater anymore. Being from the South, you can still lose weight. Yeah, this lady here, my Hot Sacks, she's from Alabama. She's lost close to 90 pounds on my program without exercise. So these principles work, whether you're a fitness model that wants to get down to 6% for some competition, or you're obese and you need to drop 200 pounds. The same principles apply. Same principles apply. So for you new people to the Periscope, you'll see inappropriate people come on and leave inappropriate comments. Usually the host will block them. If he doesn't, you can block them too. Unless, of course, you want those type of people on your scope, and more power to you. But that's not something I prefer on mine because I usually have families and young kids, and I want this to be a safe place for them. I don't think that's an appropriate place to do that. Fat burns by putting your body into a state where it's forced to burn it for fuel. And it's a pretty detailed process, but there's ways you can do it reasonably without doing extremes. And I've done them. I've got on Atkins. I've gotten my body fat down to 5%. I've done those extreme things. But Atkins was a trailblazer. We've got much more knowledge now. Much more knowledge than he had. Do you recommend pre-workouts and weight loss supplements? No, I recommend the first thing you do is supporting your lean body mass before you start spending, a couple $100 a month on supplements. And I teach all that in my academy you'll get 5 weeks for $37. That's like 40 cents a day or something. My goal is 1 million people on the lean, inside the Lean Body Academy at some place in time within the next 4 years. My doctor wants me to just lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. How much fat is in that 1 to 2 pounds? You know, the question that needs to be asked here is, what's your body fat? Forget about your BMI. Height to weight ratio is rather antiquated. What's the real body fat? That way you can get some real numbers, and then you can make some real choices. People with hypothyroidism, same difference. Okay, guys, what tissue in your body generates the most heat? I know you guys are going to get this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Got J. Brows Ray? Yeah, it's pretty good, right? What tissue in the body generates the most heat? Remember, I didn't say the most active. I said the most heat. Tissue, not body part. Interesting, you would say the liver. You could have an argument for that. But in this context, it's the muscles. It's mainly your skeletal muscle, your internal muscles. That's what generates the heat. So when you support that, and the stomach too, but the stomach's really working when it's digesting, not from not when you're walking. It's kind of like calm down. Yes, that's right. So once you begin to support that, interesting things begin to happen, because now we know that body fat influences hormones. So as you begin to actively feed your lean muscle mass, interesting things begin to take place. Okay? So if you're hypothyroid or you tend to be cold a lot, if you would just support your lean muscle mass, who knows what can happen? It's definitely a step in the right direction. Yeah, you can go to your local gym and get what's called a bioimpedance unit. It looks like this. And they'll test you, or they'll use a skin caliper and they'll pinch you. It is true you can. I'll rewrite that. Well, okay. If you guys do 4 questions or more, just copy them and select them, because if I don't get them, they all come at once for some odd reason. If there's anyone that's a Periscope executive, can you make the comments come out slower? They all just 40%. Well, forget about BMI for a moment. What you want to know is what's your body fat percentage. Now, you're probably close to that number, which is unfortunate, but double check that. There isn't always a correlation between BMI numbers and body fat percentage. In fact, I would say it's quite the opposite. What's the answer? Oh, muscle tissue. That's the answer. Yeah, you got. That's where I got mine. You can get it on Amazon. Hey, there's my wife, guys. She's a fine artist and does some sweet things in Hawaii. We're separated by the seas right now. Foot has hurt since 2001. You're now 37 today on feet all day, no pain. Interesting. Well, good for you. Isn't he the same as Atkins diet? Well, how many of you want to know about ketosis? Put up a 1, and thank you for the hearts and the shares. How many of you want to know about ketosis? And my plan works with that a little bit, but not to the extremes that were done before. So Dr. Atkins was a pioneer back in the day. And you remember the Atkins plan. People would go on this, pork rinds and sour cream and this high fat. And they would go on this plan, and he would have them on it for sometimes, several months, and they would drop massive amounts of weight, and a good portion of that was body fat. The problem, the issue is it can be kind of tough on your kidneys and your digestive tract, because usually when you have a diet like that, there's not much fiber. So what I've done over the years is I've modified it where we do a little bit of it in the academy, but you can do it now with the science that Atkins didn't have it. 10 years ago, they didn't do things on low glycemic foods and insulin expression at nighttime and human growth hormone suppression. I think that came out like in the mid 90s, or maybe early 1991, 92. There was a few studies that I've seen, but he didn't have that. So the fact that he was able to push through with that, I know he got some flack from his colleagues, but get the results that he's gotten. I mean, I'm sure he had some failures, but that's pretty impressive. I heard that you drop weight without carbs, but put it back once you. Yeah, that's why it's unreasonable. That's another reason. So, I don't play that game in my academy. I teach you guys fundamentals so you can pick and choose. If you go to Disneyland, could you still do the program? Absolutely. If you went to wherever your aunties, within reason, you could still do the because you have the knowledge to make the choices. It sends a current through your body called an ohm, which is a really low frequency current. So it actually creates a circuit, and it has a calculation where it measures the resistance. Think of fat as insulin on the wire, and think of your muscles as the conductor. So the more fat you have, the more resistance you'll have, and it measures that and it spits out a percentage. It's within about 3%. Yeah, see, Lucretia, she's in the academy. She still had a ball. And then when she came back, even though she's dropped over 30 pounds, she's still not happy. And you know what? Good. I'm glad. That's what's going to motivate people. Once you start getting gains, just following the basics in the program without really focusing on exercise, and you see how easy it begins to happen or how natural it begins to happen, oh, you want more. It's just human nature. So she's not happy losing 10% body fat. Now she wants to lose 20, so good for her. And it's going to happen. This fat up hormone production, does it help it? No, the research is quite the contrary. It actually creates havoc within the body. Do I compete in bodybuilding? Oh, you must be talking to someone else on the scope. I checked your website last night, and I can't wait to join and start seeing. Oh, that's fantastic. You know, as soon as you join, you'll automatically go in our private group. I got the best guys in there. They're just phenomenal. You're about 70%. That's unfortunate. You know, you won't really test on a bowel. If you get the handheld and it says like error, it means your body fat's usually over 60%, at least 50. It's leanbodyacademy.com. Hey, USC. Yeah, that's at leanbodyacademy.com. I was consuming 20 calories a day and couldn't hardly put on weight. Yeah, see, I don't even get into that calorie counting. That's what I'm saying. All those numbers become superfluous once you know exactly what you're supposed to be eating for your lean body mass. You don't even have to waste your time with those numbers. Hey, from the Netherlands. I've never been. Sounds cold, though. I'm not much for the cold weather. Smart Scopers. Thank you, guys. I got trended last night. Joanne Pham, if you don't follow her, follow her. It's like, you know, it's a really big deal. I guess that's pretty good. I'm trying to give you guys really solid content. Yes, I like people to join my academy, but I want you to join to participate. And it'll change your life. It'll change your family's life. Not just to join to participate. Maybe you have to spend an hour a week. I think you're worth it, and I think your family's worth you being worth it. How much, if you do have your own website about lean body, how much? I don't understand the question. How much about lean body mass? I'm not sure of the question. Well, you can go to Wikipedia and type in lean body mass, and it'll give you some pretty specific definitions. Can my whole family? Yeah, absolutely. You can use one household, one email. That's correct. How much information? Oh boy. Any academy members on this scope tonight? They want to answer that. Is there enough information in there? Put a 1 if there's enough. Or a 10 if there's hardly any. I don't know how to put that, but is loving all of the great food with me. Excellent. So see, it's meant for families. Yeah, and I have it structured in weeks. Oh boy, somebody's putting their phone number up on my scope. That's interesting. Asparagus smells, yeah, and your urine will smell like it for about a day, sometimes 2. Can I lose 20 kilos in 3 months with the Cambridge? I have no idea what the Cambridge diet is. No. Think when you talk about diet, look at the first 3 letters. Pretty scary, right? What basic supplements do you recommend for muscle building? You got to support your lean muscle mass. No supplements are going to do that. Yeah, belly fat is cortisol. In fact, they're saying now, the research is that if you start restricting your calories, the stress that it causes to count will cause cortisol, which will put more belly fat on you. So it's just bizarre how these things happen. Fatty liver is just that. Usually the liver is fatty through, usually lifestyle abuse over years. And you never hear of a fatty liver in a child, right? Usually it's an adult, 40 plus, or, relatively on the obese side, or, abusive lifestyle. Does green tea help belly fat? I wouldn't count on it. Certainly not by itself. Hands to bar help to begin with. That's ridiculous. Burger UI. Okay. Am I a dentist? Oh, diet? No, I'm not a dietitian. No. Yes, you did. Again, notice the Academy members talk about the percentage of fat they lost, not the weight. A sack of potatoes is weight. You're a living body, and we have to get at, how much fat is there and how to get that to burn away. And I teach you those principles. You don't have to listen to me, but yes, I need to join, and so should you. We have a lot of fun. I participate in the group. There's great people in there. There's a lady who is 350 plus pounds in there that's has lost close to 100 pounds. There's all kind of different age brackets. There's a few docs in there, a few figure people in there. I'm nervous because I'm not losing weight. Have a wedding coming up in 2 months. Okay, but you got to you have to get the tools. You have to get a mentor to mentor you through that. Not necessarily my daughter has biliary atresia. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. No, I don't recommend squatting with weights. Get a suit. Sometimes joining a new program is intimidating. Oh, not this program. It'll be the least intimidating program you've ever joined. Does coffee help? Yeah, but don't drink it with meals. And it's the volume that appears to be the problem because it disrupts digestion. Remember, coffee is a stimulant. When you eat, your muscle needs blood, so it's kind of relaxing and vasodilating, and coffee's asking it to constrict, so it's not a good mix. Does football cause your knees to pop? It can. Does football cause your knees to pop? I'm not sure I understood that question. Sorry. Thanks again for your hearts and your shares, guys. So is your program through televideos? Yeah, it's through televideos. I do live coaching calls every week. There's audios, videos. That's what I mean. Check it 7 days. There's nothing out there like it. There's an exercise portion coming, but that's not, that shouldn't be your main top 4 focus. You would have a big argument with CrossFit guys over squats. Oh, I'm not here to argue. If they want to squat, by all means. I've just seen clay shovelers, fractures, and people with bars on their backs. I've compressed my 6th thoracic vertebrae from squatting over 600 pounds. So if you want to do that, by all means, go, move forward. You're sweating a lot healthy. It depends on the reasons why you're sweating. Sometimes we have a fever or our body's fighting something, we'll break out into sweat because the body's generating heat and having all these other processes happening. So you have to figure out why. If it's like for no reason and you're in a hot room and it keeps happening, you need to go, go get checked. Go to your primer and have him look out what's happening. Will you gain muscle in the legs? Support your lean body mass first, and then move forward. Go Denver. Like every time I squat, bend over to get something, my knees pop. Yeah, that could just be a patella something. If it bothers you, go to an orthopedist or go to a physical therapist and have them diagnose you. How do you get 6-pack in a week? Depends on how many packs away you are. If you don't have a 1-pack now, it's not going to happen. If you're nowhere near it, it's not going to happen. And no amount of sit-ups is going to burn belly fat. I just did a scope on that a couple of nights ago. Research is, again, doesn't work. You'll get endurance and strength, but you won't change your belly fat. So sit-ups, save your spine, guys. Save your spine. Sounds nice, but doesn't work. So I want to thank you guys. Only 6 kilos with dumbbells. I hate heavy weights. Yeah, but there's an importance. I'll break that down in my program. So is your diet good for losing belly? Well, it's not a diet. It's an academy. You learn what to do with high glycemic, low glycemic, your lean body mass protein take. Simple. Are crunches the same as sit-ups? Yeah. Bringing your head, your neck to your knees, not a good thing. The spine is not like that. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. Got this anti-aging from Science Magazine. It's excellent. If you go there, you might want to consider just getting an email subscription from them. They don't pay me, but they give pretty good stuff, and it's not quite so dry. I want to thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys for getting trending, whatever that means. It's a good thing, and I want to put out good stuff for you guys. So thank you so much. I will be on again tomorrow night at about the same time. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.